Hello everyone and welcome back. Last time we finished with the shocks and diffs, and today I will continue with the body, with the steering and also front part, as well as the rear part of the car. At the end they will go something like this. Let's go. Next point in the manual is to prepare turn baffles. It's also not the most nicest part of the assembly, but nevertheless it's need to be done. It's very important things. They are actually holding a lot of parts of the suspension. Also over here I have all the sizes that necessary to be done for the initial setup, and I will do exactly this way. So I'll use these sizings. It's very simple task, so I'm just cutting all this stuff. This one we'll see, but these things I need all. So the first one for the servo, I'll show based on this, and all others is absolutely the same. And this one done, here should be 15 millimeters, and now I need to do all the others. Now is the assembly of steering column. So these are the parts of the servo saver. They go on one side, and another side is just idler. So something like this. Instead of this one part, I have the optional aluminum. It's one of the must-have options. This one is used but good. Unfortunately, I forget to order this one. So it goes over here. So this one I will not use, plastic. You could drive with plastic as well. And actually I drive a lot with plastics. But aluminum over here works just better. Only this bottom upper should be plastic. That the contact when the servo saver is working like this, that the contact is plastic to the aluminum. And other parts of the servo saver, and these skirts. So I'll start with sides. So all the parts of the servo saver and steering goes. These sides. They are screwed like this from the top to the body. And always everywhere over here should be Loctite. I need the screws. Also I will need some bearings later on. And the Loctite. I'll try to use this one that was in the set. They are usually pretty good. It's just everywhere in the package. Now I have side guards and now the steering. The steering starts with these posts. They goes over here with the bigger screws from the bottom. Also Loctite everywhere. It's very important point because this stuff just very like to unscrew. Especially on the steering, especially on the front. So all these screws with the that goes metal to metal should be always with Loctite. The bearings, 2 bearings on the bottom. Then actually the steering part. As I already mentioned, this one. It goes like this over here. And here it's 2 washers. One over here, then the spring. And the second one on the post. So some sandwich like this one, not on the post, over here. Post is from the top. And this one, then spring. Then second one goes on the nut. But before that, into the nut goes the rubber. You could also use the a little bit of the oil on this rubber, but I'm not using it. Just to have a little bit more tight fit of entire this thingy, because it's also very important part. If it will be too loose, you will lose steering. If it will be too hard, you will lose your servo. So I'm usually doing it like this, so that here just a few millimeters left. It's pretty hard setup, but my servos is mentioning it, usually. I hope that they will. So then this one over here. But before that, there is the assembly of the bearings over there. There's 2 small bearings, one from the bottom, one from the top. After some time, they actually they are performing just like bushings, but at the beginning they was the bearings. And this nut and the top plate. And of course, on the nut, into the nut, inside the nut, you need to have the thread lock. And try not to lock the bearings itself. Now I have entire steering assembly done. It's moving free. And I'm ready to move forward. Next is the front part, backs 5.1, 5.2 and 5.3. This one, all the plastics, the gearbox assembly, and all the inserts, the holders for the stop, and it looks like the arms, and everything around the arms. And everything around the stop. This one I will install last, so I will not open at the moment this one. So the front tower, the front gear, so actually everything that we need. Of course, it's everything that you need to assemble the car itself. Okay, anyway, we're starting from the gearbox. All the stuff I need to arrange somehow. The gearbox first. Here is also one of the very important points to have a good amount of thread lock over here. Otherwise, you are in risk that this screw will gone. So now with these small washers, I checked the gear mesh between the big gear and small gear in the gearbox, that there is just a little bit of the play, and the gear, the diff itself sits very well in the gearbox. It's also a very important point, because if the gear mesh will be not accurate and the diff will play, the gears will become broken very fast. And this one cap from over here, and then screw them down. But before closing it, I will apply a little bit of the grease over here, everywhere, except of the screws, and we'll try that grease not goes to the screws itself. This will prevent of coming dust inside the gearbox. So as you can see, the front gearbox are ready, and the next step is this one, holder for the arms. It's a rear one, and the 2 screws. After that will be arms and the front arm holder. So before mounting of the arms, they are going like this, and before mounting them, I will need to have 2 shims with the kit setup. They goes on the back. Two on each side. So that means 2 millimeters of the shims on each side. And then the arms, the lower arms. And the front mount. It's actually almost the same as the rear one. Only the difference, it's mounted from the front. So also inserts. I think I made wrong, and there is 1 shim, because with the 2 shims it will be a little bit too much, and with the 1 shim it will be 2 less. Let's try with 1. 2 will be definitely too much, and the arms will not move freely, and we need everything to move free. So 1 shim, arms, and the front plate. And as you can see, there is a little bit of the play on the arms. Actually, it's okay, but sometimes I'm using like a very tiny shims over there to reduce this play. I'll take a look if I have them, then I will install them as well. Now I will install the end stop screws. So they are with the place for screwdriver from the top and from the bottom. They are installed like this, from over here in this hole. With these screws, you are tuning the end stops. And with the kit setup, they should go up like 1.5 millimeters. So for me, important now that they are more or less the same on both sides. And later on, I will tune the end stops, the drops. Correctly to say, tune the drops. So it is like this. Now, next step. So next point to do is the front stop. I actually need to open it. Still was not did it. Not to mix everything everywhere. It is 2.2 millimeters. It's okay. I will use it. Then I need two of this one, and all of them goes like this. Stop goes from here. I need to find the middle of it and install this one nice and blue ring in the middle, so something like this. And two bottom screws. With them, you just tune the stop that it goes up and down free, but doesn't play too much. So a little bit of play is allowed, but not too much. So something like this, so that if you're getting it up, it just drops. And now the last step is to connect the stop to the arms. Actually pushing these things on the stop. Loctite. I move the screws to the front direction, that when the car is assembled, I have the access with the screwdriver to them to remove the stop. Because I needed to do that, when I want to open the diff, I need to unscrew these things and open the case. And also if I want to replace the stop to another one, to tune the car. I will also need to have the access from over here. Next thing, stop. So now the top plate. This one thing goes like this. Then two screws, also with the Loctite. I'll insert them first. Then apply the Loctite over here and on the screws. This one also very important because this thing is very tiny and very small screws, and basically it holds entire front arms. Next one, the assembly of the shock tower. That's even more simpler. The inserts from the kit, here is the insert in the middle, with the marking in the middle, so the shafts goes in the middle. Also the inserts here, so something like this. And then the holders for shocks. This one and the screw also, they goes in the middle with the kit setup. Again, I'm doing now the kit setup as it's in the book, and then we'll see should I change something or not. Also here you will need to apply Loctite. I will redo this one now, because without the Loctite this one will be unscrewed. It's going unscrewing even with Loctite. The next step is to assemble all this stuff together. So to do that, I will need to install the front upper arms. First of all, on the arms, I need to install these things. They goes with the 3 small screws. I will use the screwdriver to tighten them. So now the front shock tower, it goes over here, and 4 screws for it. As you can see, there is a lot of play. There is washers that need to be installed also over here. So this one, they are just dropping from the top when everything is already assembled. Or you could install them in front. So basically there is installing one 2mm washer, one and 2 of 1mm washers. So I will install them initially, but they are made in the way that you could actually easily change them for the tuning, so change the positions of these washers. They go from over here, so the arms is on the back and washers from over here. So the 2mm, let's install first 1, 2 of small and 1 big. So something like this. And now the entire front upper arms goes to the assembly. And screwing them down. So the front is almost assembled, now the steering blocks and the shafts. Next one package, the front steering blocks. Here I have universal drive shafts for the drive shafts actually. And that's very nice because you don't need to deal with any assembly over here, and I really enjoy them. So they usually drives better for me. So some people like them, some people doesn't like them, I like them. So now all the screws. The balls and the cups. And the nuts. There is left and right steering blocks, so they are marked with L and R. This one small cups. So now I will assemble them. First of all, I'm starting from the steering block and the balls. I'm drop the ball, I'm drop the cup and the nut. And then carefully tighten the nut in place. Carefully, not to damage nothing inside, not to damage cup. Okay, it is already too tight, so you need to just undo it until the point when the ball is just drops. So something like this. A little bit of play should be there, but the ball should be free to move. And now I'm doing all the other balls. Now I need to install the bearings. That's the flanged bearings from the both sides. Now the universals goes inside. And the wheel nut. So this one goes over here. And then this pin. Something like this. Oh, pins just don't want to stay there on its place. And then I need to hold with these two screws. Again, a little bit of the Loctite. And the second one the same. Motor. Now the steering plates. It's impossible to install them wrongly because they are just fits into one place. So like this. It's also very nice in this kit. Basically you could not install a lot of things in the wrong way because they are fits only in one place. Okay, next step. It's a mounting of the steering blocks to the front of the car. So this one goes over here. It's a right one. Yes, it's a right one. So on the bottom there is the small shim, and for the top there is a slightly bigger shim. Then this one sinks. So the small one goes inside and goes on the bottom screw. And then all of this assembly. I think there is 3mm, no, that's 2.5. Yeah, it's 2.5 inside, and then I'm screwing it to the arm, to the bottom arm. That's it with the front assembly, and now I'm going to assemble the rear part of the car. I will need these 4 bags there. It's pretty similar to the front. So that's the gearbox, the wing mount, that's the stub, that's the wheel blocks and the shafts, and that's the arms. So at the moment I need the gearbox and the arms. So the next one part, the rear diff case, rear diff that goes over here, the gear, so everything the same. I'm just repeating the same procedure that was with the front diff. The inserts that are here with the dot on the down, so the arm is full way down. Also the front and the rear inserts, the holders for the arms, not the inserts, with the inserts. And then the arms itself. Now the rear stub, that's absolutely the same as was on the front as well. So this same part, let's have a look which one we have here in the package. So the parts over here, and the rear one is the 2.5. That's okay. For me it fits. So now assembly. That's it with this part. And not actually it, so it with the stub. Now the tower, it mounts over here, and there is 4 screws for it. Not this one, this one. So these 4 screws is mounting the shock tower from over there. So now I will assemble this part. It's mounts over here. Now I have this mounted. So next things that goes, it's the wing mount, it's the body post, and it's the shock post. And also I forget the end stops. So I'll start with the end stops, and then we'll go to the next. Now the post for the wing, the rear wing. So here is 4 screws. That goes all the way down into the wing post. And then in the manual it says it should be mounted on the 2 up holes. Here it is. Next one. And next is the rear wheel hubs. Also the universals, the 2 sets of the rear wheel hubs with 1 hole and with the 2 holes. And in the kit setup, there is used this with 2 holes with 0 number, so the upper hole from this one. It's a totally new set compared to the previous versions of the car. So there is the things with the carbon mounts on the top. So they goes like this. So I will even need to take a look on the instruction manual, how to assemble all this stuff. I think this screws goes over here. And then should be the nuts. Okay, have enough of different nuts. Need just to take a look which one exactly goes. I will show on the one side, and on another side is the same. The bearings goes inside. It's just normal not flanged bearings. Then these two carbon inserts. It's totally new for me, and it should. I saw it on the many cars, many different cars, and that looks very nice. So the screws from this side. I prefer when the screws are from the front of the car. So this one side is the front. I know it's very often in the manuals the nuts should be to the front, but I like more when the screw head goes to the front of the car. Then this one, outdrive. It's the good universal. Then the wheel hub, wheel nut actually. This one and the screw inside, it's already there. So I could just screw it down. So like this. And actually a good thing with the universals, you could move it like this and then screw it without the wrench. The wheel nut, not lost it. And these two set screws, they are actually quite important. So later on, when I will install it to the car, here will be the shaft, and then with these two screws, this shaft is fixing on its position, and the hub itself will not play. So actually here is the shaft, and two distance washers. We need to use the upper hole for the kit setup, as I'm assembling the kit setup, and it goes like this. And the second washer from this side. I actually hate them because they are always try to get somewhere and they are not so easy to install usually, but over here I have quite tight fit. On the new cars it's quite often that they are quite tight. So that's it. Now it's almost installed, and now I need to screw down these set screws. They are fixing the shaft on its place, and there will be no play at all on the car. Okay, that's good. Then shaft goes inside, and then this arm. In the kit setup, it's using the bottom hole over here. And it's installed like this. Okay, good. Also, you could use here the Loctite. I'm also always using it, but never had it unscrewed. And here also the outside hole to maximize the grip as much as possible on the rear. We'll see how it works, but I bet that it should. So that's it. Now the second side. Here is all the parts that I already have. That's the body with the steerings, that's the front, that's the rear. And the next time I will show you assembly of everything, the final assembly, the electronical part, the engine mount. See you next time. Take care.